Yo, 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 this is your boy DJ Evo and your boy Mac the Riddler.
Yo,
And welcome to Off the Top. Now, today I'm feeling a little frisky, man. Cause I got some shit that's been eating at me. Cause I don't know if you ever seen Dave Chappelle on Netflix or not, but he got those. I think it's like up to 3 now. We got 3 specials that he released for like $60-70 million altogether. Some drastic shit, but that's not even the point. I've been watching that. I love it. Me personally, I think Dave Chappelle and him and people like D.L. Hughley who play on racial comedy and conflicts amongst people and socialism in the world is like that's one of the most complex ways to create comedy. So I respect they types of comedy the most. So all the flack that Dave Chappelle is getting about being politically correct and if his jokes are too far, because I know you heard the jokes he said about the ABCs with the element. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is funny as a motherfucker for you to create that. You know what I'm saying? But why do people not respect the comedy and just appreciate it? Why do people have to go above and beyond? So this is leading me to the questions that I have to you today, my brother, is joking something that should ever be censored? And is there a point to where you go too far as being a comedian or just being a regular person on the streets if you are making a joke? Is there a point to where that it reaches a level to where, hey man, that's not funny? Or just because your audience does not appreciate your joke, should it still be something that you should be able to do anytime, all the time, regardless of who likes it or not, just because you want to? That's your freedom of speech.
I'm gonna use an analogy.
Right.
Alright. I have to shit. Alright. So you gotta shit.
Right.
Now there's a proper place for you to go to shit.
Right.
And the actual act of shit is not always lovely, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you gotta do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now if you shit in front of somebody's house on a fucking lawn, that's not appropriate. Like, it wasn't time for that. But I understand that you had the shit though, you know.
Right.
So, but it's just a proper place for you to go shit.
Right.
So, coming back to the joke, like jokes meant for, you know what I'm saying, to bring happiness to me. Like, you know, it's kind of necessity. Like, lighten the mood up. You know what I'm saying? And
that's what they're for.
And jokes have, they really have no bounds, but like I said, it's just whether a proper time to say it.
Right.
If you like if somebody just died, somebody's mama just died, you're not gonna make no
jokes about that.
Your mama joke, or you're not gonna joke around with that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but if it was in the terms of somebody don't like or something, or it is.
But what if they do though? That's what I'm saying. That's the point. That's the point we trying to cross.
Oh, if they do still?
Right. Like if okay, I understand. You know, and they might understand. People like just today, like people understand that they supposed to pay their bills on fucking time, but they still don't do the shit right. You know what I'm saying? Should you still be allowed to? Okay. What if on stage, you know, one of the greatest people that we both know, Kobe Bryant, just died? What if somebody decides that it's a good time to make a Kobe Bryant joke? Should they be crucified for that because people are still hurting, or should they still be allowed to do it? Because some people feel like they shouldn't even be allowed to speak on shit like that. So I'm really trying to touch base
on some shit like that. No way. Okay, it is. Sometimes you gotta have to sacrifice some shit for you for the greater good.
Right.
All right. Now when I say that about that is you can't stop nobody's freedom of speech.
Right.
For one, because if you stop their freedom of speech, that means somebody gonna stop your freedom of speech.
Eventually, it's a chain.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, it's only right because you have that right. You know what I'm saying? So if you dictate somebody else's freedom of speech, then why the fuck your shit can't be dictated? You don't want, and then once your shit is dictated, you gonna have a problem with that. So that's why I'm gonna start at right there. Now, like I said, it's proper times, proper places. Now, and it's words. Him making a joke or somebody making a joke, yeah, that's fucked up. I'm gonna be like, that's fucked up. But ultimately, it's not doing you nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not affecting your pockets. You know, whoop the whoop. I mean, it's not. You gotta look at the bigger picture. Like, is it do or die? Like, are you dying because they making this joke right now?
Right.
Like, walk away from that shit. Like, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck. If you don't like it,
just have a distaste for it and move on.
Yeah.
Right. So that leads me into my second question that I got for you, because we already touched based on the actual mainstream focus on censorship. Now, we already have in place, whether people realize it or not, censorship is something that's like censorship on your Bill of Rights, your amendments that's supposed to protect you the most in the Constitution has already begun, and I don't even think people realize it like that. Some of your rights you lose when you walk into certain establishments. Like if you go into a school, you don't necessarily have all of the rights that you guaranteed if you were stepping on the outside or the outskirts of the streets that's in front of that school. Because once you step on their property, they have certain ways and policies that they use to guide. Like if a school has a no cursing policy, that does extend to you if you come on their property, even if you're an adult or not.
Because you're on their property.
Right, and if even if it might seem excessive, but if they were to call the police and have the police come there and say, hey, they were cursing, we have no cursing policy. They disrespected that, violated that while they're on the property. They would have to take you to jail, whether the police like it or not, if they decided to press charges, because you directly breaking the law by directly breaking that policy, being on that establishment. So it's always infringements on your First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights, and you know, so on and so forth. So the question I'm trying to get to is, should heterosexual people have to acknowledge gender changes with their everyday co-workers, people that's around them? Like, should that be something that have to be acknowledged? Basically, let me break it down in simpler terms. If I'm a man or if I'm a woman and I'm working at, let's just use an example, I'm working at a Walmart and my co-worker is a transgender, and I can blatantly see that this used to be a man or this used to be a woman and they decided to change his or her sex and decided to dress like that. Should I have to acknowledge them as a woman if she looked like a damn man? Or if I have to acknowledge her as a man if she looked like a damn woman? I know you a woman. Like, what you know, break it down. Tell me how you feel about that.
Alright. On some subconscious shit.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how you just worded that.
Mm-hmm.
When you could clearly see that they used to be a man or they used to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're saying that, you're acknowledging that there's a transition.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you're something different. Like when you say you used to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
So you still subconsciously agreeing with them. Like, now it's all about, do you want to call him a man? You know what I'm saying? Or
I'm not agreeing with them, because subconsciously I can acknowledge a transition from one form to another, but that doesn't mean that I'm still certifying your declaration as being a woman. I'm just knowing you something else. You are other. Mm-hmm. But I'm not necessarily saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, you just understanding that there's a transition being there. Like, it's a.
Well, yeah, you forced it surgically.
Yeah. You're not neither man. I can't call you. You're not neither man nor woman. To me, like, that's you saying, like, that's that brain fart right there. So now it's like, what do I want to call you? Mm-hmm. Or do you want to respect them or respect their preference of to be called, right? Being called a man or a woman or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's a thing where it's like it might be prideful on some stuff. Like you could just call them what they want and don't have a problem with it, you know. Right. But if you really just feel some type of way about it, like, then I mean, that's a question that you have to ask. Like, why do you not want to acknowledge them as a? Do you just are you just set that you got to be a man or whatever? Cause like me, I'm speaking on me. I'm gonna be like shit. Like alright, shit. I don't really give a fuck.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. Like shit, you don't really give a fuck either way it go. Like I'm not
Right,
gonna.
right.
I don't. It's like. Nah,
I wouldn't call him a woman though. That's the only thing I would not do because I subconsciously I would not agree to it. In my head, I would never commit to the actual. How would I word this correctly? I would never actually commit myself to the actual idea that this is something that's gonna be a normalization in our society.
I do like both. Like if like I've been in a situation like that, I do both. Like if somebody asks me, I'll be like, oh. You know what I'm saying? She sometimes I'll be like she or he. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then if I'm talking to them, I'll be like, man, nigga, shut the fuck up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm playing with them or something like nigga.
Right.
You know, I still have. Like if I was talking to another man or something like that, I ain't gonna be like, oh, you know how you want a woman, it ain't gonna be like that.
Right.
But you know, I'm gonna respect your mind, like at least to a certain. But don't try to push that shit on me like that. I gotta.
That's my whole thing. That's what I'm really getting down to today. I feel like this shouldn't be something that's mandated. Like when you start trying to mandate personal feelings is when you get into a real gray area about things, and that's when the law.
Yeah, because that's your own personal bubble world, like that and you only trying to project it outside. So people, you know, but don't act as if I'm in that bubble with you. You know what I'm saying? Nah, this is something that you came up in your mind that you want to do. Like I ain't certified this, you know. I only know what I know. I know I got a dick and you got a dick. And I know that I'm a man. So if you got a dick too, you a man. You heard me? Like that's all I know. Now if you want to call yourself a woman, then that's something on you. That's something on you. Like see, that's the shit that's fucking the shit up. Like I see, that's the true question. That the shit is being pushed
on people.
Pushed on people that I have to, just like you have the right to change your shit. I have the right to accept, not to
to even justify you.
To even acknowledge your change. Like I could just be like, oh, all right, but you're still a man. Like,
right.
You know, I ain't gonna make a big deal if I'm gonna be like, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be like, if it for pronouns or you know, anything like that, I'm gonna be like he.
And that's what I'm trying to get to, like, because what I want to have listeners to understand clearly is what I'm saying is because I'm not a person that's not for homosexual rights and encouragement as far as to transgenders and all of the above as far as the people who just, you know, not even in a sexual class of preference, you know, who like to jump around because they still undecided. I promote, you know, all things that's moving to have a preference to do what they feel like they should do to make them happy. That's not something I ever want to restrict. But the thing I also don't want to restrict, being on that same ticket, is that if you're going to tell homosexual people, etc., that are in that class of people that we're talking about today, that I'm going to have to acknowledge your change, or I'm going to have to feel some type of way every time, just because you may feel some type of way, then it's also creating a restriction or an infringement on me as a citizen and as a person, just as in the past, homosexual and transgenders have been discriminated against as people. So it will be reversing it. So the thing that I'm getting into is we can't restrict one if we don't restrict the other. So I appreciate you guys listening, and reach in next time in the next episode. We're gonna get into this topic a little bit more, but we'll leave y'all with that today. It's been DJ Evo and your boy Mac the Riddler.
Yo.
We'll see y'all next time.
Shit. We gotta make part 2 of that though.
I know.